Hey guys, Mike from Custom. Wow, that was a horrible start. Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I'm going to go ahead and trip over my own freaking mouth for a minute before I get into the details here. All right, guys, I wanted to shoot a separate video. There is going to be a long video that you may see on the channel. If you look, you'll definitely find it, but I'm releasing a long video that includes these two sheath projects. These are all for the same gentleman, but he and I talked, and I thought it would actually be a good idea to spotlight not only this knife maker, but this sheath because it's so unique. Personally, this is my favorite of the three sheaths I built for Jeff, but this one is definitely the most unique. And I thought there are a lot of you out there who might benefit from this and who might consider this kind of concept for a sheath project for yourself. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. His general idea with this one was that he wanted it to be a sheath that does not look like a sheath. He's going to wear it up high on the belt so his shirt will hang down to about here, and all people are going to see is some kind of pouch mounted to the sheath and then this faceplate, or if you remove the faceplate, it's Velcro underneath it, so you could mount a second pouch to it. So just to give you a kind of rough idea, you could have, something like this and then your shirt line there, and it's gonna give this the look of like a drop leg pouch system rather than a sheath. I think that's a really cool concept and one that you might want to consider if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you want to be in the brush somewhere with a very capable knife, but there's going to be a lot of other people around and you just don't want them to see the knife, feel intimidated, whatever it might be. It's a kind of a situation that I would maybe describe as a niche situation, but Jeff has a very niche career, and so it's going to really service him well. So let's go ahead and just check out what this all includes. The sheath itself is fabric over Kydex. The fabric is Cordura nylon. I use the same bonding process to put fabric over Kydex as I do to do regular full grain cowhide. Same as I do hornback alligator skin, all the other reptile skins I work with, fabric. It's all the same process. It's a really good permanent bonding process that just gives you a nice finish overmold on your Kydex. So you get the benefits of the aesthetics of whatever the overmold is, plus the benefits of the Kydex, the click retention, the protection, all that good stuff. So it's a kind of best of both worlds situation. The next thing on here is a faceplate that goes the full length of the blade with Velcro bonded to the faceplate. Now this was actually kind of a shortcut for me that I don't often get to take, but the Velcro itself had an adhesive backing on it, so I didn't have to do any kind of bonding process like I normally would. And the adhesive on this is really, really tough stuff. So I felt very comfortable relying only on it rather than on the adhesive process that I use. So this is more than sufficient. Not only is the adhesive on the back of the Velcro strong, but obviously we have a bunch of eyelets through it. So it's all pretty permanently bound on there. Now the Velcro I could only find in these strips 1 inch by 10 feet. So what I've done here is put a bunch of rows of it, 5 rows of it side by side. And I actually poked holes, pairs of holes down through the edges, so that they align well, and then I put a cross stitch through to hold each of those together. So you can see that stitching right there, right there, right there. So they're stitched down the full length of it. So you're going to get a really nice seamless face of Velcro on this. Now the idea here is you can either attach pouches via MOLLE or you can attach via Velcro. The Velcro, self-explanatory. You take something with Velcro on it and boom, you're done. That's on there, nice and strong. Obviously, the more Velcro you have, the stronger the bond. And this is hook and hook Velcro, so you can put the classic loop onto it, or you can take more of the hook itself and you kind of press that on there and you get a really strong connection. So that's what this faceplate is here. Because he wanted this to kind of look more like a pack, what I did was I made another faceplate to go on the faceplate. And this one has fabric over the Kydex, and then I even glued on a leather patch, punched holes in the sides of it, got my logo and the American flag on it. And this is just meant to cover up the Velcro for a couple reasons. Number one, because Velcro, face of exposed Velcro, you're asking for things to get stuck in it. And number two, because this kind of gives it more of that pack look. And, you know, in a perfect world, it would be curved around the sides. So you'd have that kind of, you know, obviously a pack has rounded over edges and all that. You don't get that with this, but it does kind of give it that, a little bit more of that pack look to it. So if you imagine seeing this with a shirt to there, it doesn't scream this is a knife. It kind of, you know, looks a little like a unique leg, thigh drop leg, whatever you want to call it, kind of pouch rig. So that's pretty cool. And I thought adding the leather patch on there just gives it more of like the veneer of some kind of pack or pouch or whatever. What else is there to say about this? It's a pretty unique sheath, but the carry setup here, this is interesting. It's basically just a couple small molly locks coming off of the sheath. There's nice heavy duty webbing with a couple of D-rings at each end. One connects to the sheath, single point of attachment. So if you ever want to change ride heights or angles, you can move these around and find what works best for you. You can also change the ride height by adjusting the length of the webbing, of course. And it's just an easy on and off system. What I would recommend is probably putting these out really wide and lengthening the webbing to find what you need. I'd say this is actually probably just about perfect for what he's looking for. I think this is going to suit his needs. So stretch it out nice and wide. It's going to feel very stable. Use the thigh strap and you're going to be golden with this thing. So I'm really happy with how this came out. But of course, I'd love your opinions down below, guys. So let me know what you think of this kind of sheath setup. Now the knife itself, let's look at this really quick. The Brushing Cutlass company. Very cool. This is called the S7 Barracuda 2F. The S7 is the type of steel. It's a tool steel commonly used in jackhammer bits. So obviously it is pretty freaking tough. We also have the 2F component of the name, which I'm assuming means two fullers, but I'm not totally sure about that. I'm going to put a link down below to this product so you guys can actually read about it. I don't know for sure, guys, but I think this is a one-off. So don't go getting any ideas that necessarily you can buy it. But BCCO does a lot of beautiful pieces, and I'm sure you can score yourself one of them if you poach around his website long enough. So I just can't say how impressed I am with the quality of this piece. It's gorgeous to look at. It feels amazing in the hand. There's just great geometry on this handle. I love it. And the scroll work on that, oh my goodness. This thing is to die for, guys. This is a beautiful knife. So anyway, why don't you guys go ahead and check out Lauren's work over at the Brushing Cutlass company. I know I'm impressed, and I think this knife is getting a really appropriately unique sheath as well. So let me know what you guys think down below. All right, guys, I won't ramble anymore. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Stick around for the next one. God bless.